All right, so today we are here with Sal Correa. He's been in the real estate industry for around 5 years. He started with Impact Real Estate. Every year he just continues to set goals and crush them. I love him. One of my favorite guys to just talk and joke around with. And I would say if there's anything that you're just amazing at, it's following up with people. I've seen him. I mean, just right off the top of my head, I can think of a few people that he stayed in contact with for 1 to 2 years and ended up selling them a house. Whereas, most agents would maybe give up after a few weeks or a few months. So, without further ado, welcome, Sal. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Josh.
Awesome, man. So again, thanks for being here, and I'm a big fan of just getting right into it. So why don't you tell everyone how'd you get started in real estate?
Yeah, pretty simple. I mean, you had one of your top agents just randomly be coming in to Fresh and Easy, and I knew him from before, and it was kind of funny because I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man? What's going on?" And of course, he's like, "Dude, I'm selling houses. I'm doing this thing." And at the end of the conversation, he's like, "Hey, man, you should do it," And I didn't even think about it. I was like. I was like 22 at the time. I was like, there's no way somebody would take me seriously. And like an idiot, I signed up that day for my real estate classes. And then I interviewed with you later on, and then it just all started. So
All right, and so just to clarify, so everyone knows, you started at Fresh and Easy.
Fresh and Easy.
Yeah.
I was stocking bananas, just, putting up your milk on the daily basis. So,
Yeah.
I had no background in selling. There was nothing that I knew about real estate or houses or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, totally different for me.
And so when you say like an idiot, I signed up that day. Tell everyone what you really mean.
I just mean that I just there was no reason to. I had no background for it, So I was just a little scared, and I think taking that leap of faith, kind of doing real estate, and just signing up for the classes. That's what I meant. So
Makes sense. So, I mean, what was life like for you, before real estate?
it was completely different. I mean, there's so many things that real estate has given me, but back in the day, I mean, I was just working at a 9 to 5 job every single day. Actually, when I was working at the grocery store, I was waking up at 3 a.m. Every single day to go to work, and it was the same repetitive thing. And there was really no goals or anything that I wanted to do in my life. So as soon as I got into real estate, it was completely different.
Yeah.
You know?
So during that time, kind of no direction, and you're still living at home, if I remember correctly.
Still living at home.
We gave you a
Yeah,
lot of
absolutely.
shit about that.
Still with mom and dad.
Yeah.
But I also didn't think I had the funds for it at the time,
Sure.
to move out and be able to grow and do vacations and buy stuff and all these other things. So
Yeah. And in hindsight, it seems like you may have left at the right time, because it didn't Fresh and Easy end up closing down or leaving Temecula, what, few months after you made the transition?
yeah, it literally was going bankrupt, and then the next month I went into real estate, and it was just like there was only a 6 month period when they were like closing everything down, and I sold my first 3 houses, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna do real estate full time and take it seriously.
That's crazy. So, going back to when you first started, what were some of the most stressful things about real estate, and what kind of keeps you up at night when you're first starting?
I think some of the most stressful things is, where's my first deal gonna come from? I was young. I was 22, so there was nobody that in my age bracket that was gonna buy a house.
Yeah.
And I was nervous of, am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? Are people gonna take me seriously? Um, so I think those are the few things that really kept me up at night. Even in the transaction, you start getting a little. You're like, am I doing this right? What's the RR? What's a CR? So, but everything works out at the end.
Yeah. So, and going back again, like, what were some of the immediate challenges that you faced just even getting started, and kind of any frustrations that you came across?
Um, Honestly, the biggest frustrations I had were with myself, to tell you the truth. I think uh, with you and, with Garrett, who's also on the team, I mean, you guys have helped me so much in the beginning that you guys were there for everything. Hey, I need help with what do I do for this situation and that. So I think a lot of it was just my frustration, of just like, am I doing this well? Doing it better or whatever it might be. So.
All right, so let's paint the picture. You're working at Fresh and Easy, waking up 3 a.m. to sling bananas. You're living at home, don't really have any direction, and you decide, I'm going to join this team. Um, what did that do for you?
That completely changed my life, to tell you the truth. It gave me direction, it gave me goal setting, it gave me the ability to go on vacations and buy things that I wanted. So, and different mindset completely,
Mm-hmm.
So, um, like I said before, didn't have any of those things. I didn't even know how to call someone on the phone, like,
Yeah,
and so that was one of my biggest worries too when I was getting into real estate, if I was gonna be good at it, because I hated talking on the phone. So
sure. Yeah. Um, so, did you consider any other options at the time?
I did. I was going to school, and I was going to be a firefighter, and I was going through the classes for that too. And I was about to graduate, and it was so weird that real estate just happened. And for whatever reason, I was just so about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put everything I have into this, and if it doesn't work out, I'll just finish schooling. And so, but it just kept going. Deals were happening, and I had a lot of support from you and other people on the team too.
I don't think I knew that. So you kind of like set the whole firefighter thing aside. Like, did you stop going to school?
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't.
was I was just about to get into the fire academy
I
and do
don't.
all that
I
stuff.
don't even know why I asked that question. I know you didn't go to school because it's like you're selling houses. Hello, I would have known that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So you just went all in on it right away.
Absolutely. And something about it was just that told me, hey, I really need to do this. And that's why it was the perfect timing when, the grocery store was going bankrupt. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll just do real estate and see if it really works out. So, and I just remember you saying, like, you have to be 100% dedicated to this in order for it to work. And it did, so.
All right. So you go all in. You make a decision like I'm doing this team thing. Tell everyone about like the first few weeks of just like jumping into real estate and getting started.
Jumping into real estate, I mean, I remember I got my license, and that weekend I set up an open house. You came to my open house, and you're like, "Hey, this is how you do it." And I mean, I was gung ho, and you were super supportive of helping me through everything. So, it was just 0 to 100 real quick.
So you mentioned open houses. You've been pretty successful with them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anybody who's just starts in real estate should do open houses. It's free. You get amazing leads, and they're just super easy to do. So
Yeah. If you were to just take a guess, how many people do you think you've met at an open house that have turned into clients?
I mean, on an average open house, I'll maybe meet 3, 4 hot buyers that are ready to go. And if you're doing, two every weekend, that's 8 clients. So that's a lot of people, a lot of deals that could happen.
Yeah. And some people just think that they don't work. Have you ever had maybe one that just didn't work? And
Absolutely. Yeah. I've had some that were completely dead. And I mean, but you start picking out the ones where maybe it's a better price range or has upgrades or something that that it's going to get a lot of traffic. So you'll start seeing that.
yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of agents will pick a house that they would want to live in as their open house. And it's like, you're really looking for, traffic, price, and all that. Yeah, it shouldn't be a house that you're picturing yourself living in, because if it takes 10 turns to get there, it's not a good idea. But I do know that you've had a lot of success with that. So All right, so you're in real estate. You're raring to go. What were some of your highest moments?
My highest moments. I think there's so many. I think my your first sale is such a high moment. You know, you're like, oh my god, I finally did it. Here we go. Um, Once you hit, a certain amount of homes, your goal setting. As soon as you start hitting your other goals that aren't real estate related, but they're being succeeded because of real estate, going on trips, doing these things with your loved ones. It's really cool to see, and I think every year it just keeps getting better and better on some of my top things that I've done. So
So we talked about your highs. Have any lows? What any stories you can tell? Because real estate's hard, man. Stuff happens.
real estate is hard, and of course, if you're in real estate, you've definitely had lows. I know deals that have fallen through. I've had some where I've had 3 deals fall through in a week, and you're just like, oh my god, what's happening? And a lot of it, you're thinking, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Um, but again, I think you just have to focus on the next deal, and I don't really get down on all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
That's why when I talk to you, I just feel like you always bring me back of, hey, what can we do next? Stop focusing on, what you lost, and let's focus on the new deals.
Yeah. Focus on what you can actually control. So, looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently?
No, I don't think there's anything I would have done differently whatsoever. I think one of the biggest things, though, that if you're going to do real estate, I think you need to have a great broker and a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the 2 top things that I feel like have made me successful.
Mm.
So if I didn't have that, I think I would have quit
Mm.
within my first 6 months.
Yeah, the majority of agents do quit. I want to say it's like 90%
Hmm.
fail in the first year. So that's great advice. So, what kind of things do you do to keep yourself motivated? Do you have any routines, rituals, any kind of strategies to keep yourself going?
Yeah, absolutely. On a weekly basis, I have a phone call with you just to see what I'm doing, what I could be doing better. Have I been hitting my goals? And that's really big with me because I feel like if I didn't, I don't. I would just not do anything for 2 weeks and be
Mm.
like, yeah, that's okay,
Mm.
But I feel like just talking to you and just going through my goals really helps me out of just being like, okay, I know Josh is going to talk to me next week, so I better get this done.
Right, right. And taking that a step further, do you kind of like protect your calendar and set times for certain activities?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, when I talk to you, I have that 1 hour break. Whenever I do things with my family or friends, that's just their time. And when I'm working, making calls, that's strictly just business, and there's no texting, there's no anything else. So I think even you taught me that of time blocking, and that's what really makes you successful too. Making sure that you're hitting the amount of time every single day and week.
Yeah, I know. Like I said earlier, you're one of the best I've ever seen at like keeping in contact and following up. So tell everyone kind of how much time you dedicate to just doing lead generation and follow up, and what that looks like for you, and kind of even like your mentality of
I have 2 hours that I have just to follow up on, old leads, new leads, leads that we're still looking and stuff like that. And that's only just the calls. So in those 2 calls, those are my prime time. I'm very energetic. I bring my best energy because I know that if I could get them to go see houses, it's going to turn into a house sale. So those are very important. There's other time blocks that I have for what am I doing for advertisement? What am I doing next to get more leads? And that includes open houses and stuff like that. So, but I think that's very important. I probably spend maybe like 6 hours in total, 6 to 8 hours every single day, just doing that. And trying to get more leads.
So, what were some of the times that you may have thought about quitting real estate?
I think right in the beginning, there was just this time of me thinking, am I going to quit? Am I going to be successful at it? But I think what really kept me grounded was the brokerage, you as my broker, and then just really being there and telling or asking what I needed to succeed, and me just doing that,
Hmm.
you know. So and again, I think if it wasn't for you and the team, I don't think I would have stayed. Honestly, I think I would have quit within 6 months or sooner.
Sure. That's awesome, man. I'm so glad to hear that. So, um, what does your life look like now compared to, the fresh and easy days? How has it changed? How has it gone from, 0 to 60?
Huge. Just the biggest difference ever, you know. I think everybody always says I'm trying to live my best life. I really am living my best life,
Hmm.
honestly. I get to work as much as I want, make as much money as I want, spend as much time with my family and friends, go on vacation. I think last year I went on 3 vacations, where before I was like anti vacations, you
Hmm.
know. If I wanted to go buy something, I can. So it's this weird freedom that I have,
Yeah.
that a lot of people I see don't have, you
Yeah.
know. And it makes me feel sad for the other people,
Y- Yeah.
you know, just because I'm like, whoa, this is the good life. I made it,
Yeah.
you know, and it's going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah. Yeah, you really have made it. And I remember we gave you so much shit for living with your mom, and now you got your own place, and
Yeah.
you're doing well, man. It's amazing to see the transformation. I mean, you went from 0 to 60, and I mean, I know we joked about it earlier, but you actually lived with your parents and shared a bedroom with your brother. Is that right?
That is true. Yes, I did. I lived with my mom and dad, and I we didn't have an extra room, so I was with my brother the whole time. So, and I went from that to moving out, living on my own, you know, with my girlfriend moving in. And again, I would have thought that. I thought she was gonna move in with me, you know, because that's what the Mexican people do, you
Yeah.
know.
No, that makes sense. White people kick their kids out when they're 16, and
Uh,
I guess it's the opposite.
that's exactly it.
That makes sense. What do you think your life would be like if you hadn't done real estate?
It would just be a basic life. I think I would have just been the manager of Fresh and Easy, and you know, and then
Well, technically, you wouldn't be the manager of Fresh and Easy. Maybe Sprouts.
Sprouts. Actually, you know, Barron's. Actually,
Oh,
I
Barron's.
think they're a
Okay.
little bit fancier. You
Fancy.
know, I think I would have capped out at a corporation, and they would have kept me there, and I would have been doing the same monotonous thing over and over the same year until I died.
What would you say to someone that's maybe in the same shoes you were in, 5 years ago, that's just getting started in real estate? Any advice for them?
I would tell them get a mentor and a good broker, because those are the biggest things. I don't think I would have succeeded if I didn't have the people that were supporting me, that I could call every second. Hey, how do I do this? If I didn't have that, because I know a lot of agents that are like that, that their broker is just like, whatever, just go do your thing,
Hmm.
and then they fail, you know? So I think that's 100% the number one thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, we really try to. It really just feels like a family. And we have like our text threads going, and there's just banter all day long. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I talk to you and the other real estate agents more than I talk to my girlfriend sometimes on certain days, and we all have these inside jokes, and it's not even that. Sometimes we talk about things that aren't real estate related,
Oh
you
yeah,
know? So I might come to you with, you know, an emotional problem or something, and you're always there to help me out, even if it's not real estate, you know?
yeah,
So it's like you care, the team cares, and that's what I'm really big about, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Awesome, man. So, what would you say your vision is for the future?
My vision for the future, I think that's gonna be just be one of the top real estate agents in the area with the team, uh, aka another Josh. I want to be a Josh, you know. So and have my own family, and be doing the same thing and being able to help out other people just like you did with me.
Yeah. That would be amazing, man. I think that's the goal in life, is to help everyone around you become greater than you are, you know? I think that's maybe the biggest problem I see. A lot of people, a lot of team leads or brokers, they want to like suppress, you know, keep everyone
Yeah.
at a certain level. And I'm all about, I would love to see everybody raised up and even exceeding anything I've done. You know, because I mean, at the end of the day, your legacy has nothing to do with what you bought or what you own,
Hmm.
or even a lot of your travel and experiences. I mean, that's all great, but the only thing everyone's left with is essentially how you made them feel.
Yeah.
You know, so I always try to keep that in mind. And that's one thing I love about you, man. You make everyone around you just feel good, and it's always laughs. You're a good man, and I love what you're doing. So just want to thank you for being here. And I'm sure there are going to be people that see this and maybe they want to contact you, they want to ask you some questions. So how can people reach you?
They could either send me an email, or the best is just give me a call or a text. My number's 951-970-2713. And anybody who's looking to sell or buy, they could also contact me too.
Awesome. Good plug.